Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rick and I'm here with my best of 2018 video. Hopefully you guys checked out my worst of video that I uploaded a couple days ago first before watching this. I want to dive right in because there's about 20 movies that I'm going to talk about. My top 15 and then my honorable mentions. With that being said, I want to mention that I have not seen the following movies um, that I think have the most possibility of being on my end of the year list. Um, Ben is Back, Bumblebee, Creed 2, Destroyer, First Man, First Reform, If Beale Street Could Talk, Mary Poppins Returns, Mission Impossible Fallout, On the Basis of Sex, Roma, Sicario 2 Day of the Soldado, The Sisters Brothers, Vice, and Wildlife. So I just want to get those out of the way that I have not seen those. So if you guys are like, how is this not on your list? Or, I'm sure some of you are going to do that anyway. But that is the list. So like I mentioned in my worst of video, where everything was 1.5 stars or lower, this everything that I gave 4 stars or more to that I saw is on this list, either in an honorable mention or in the top 15. As I mentioned in the last video, RJ is sitting at the computer next to me, so if you hear clicking, coughing, any noise, it's the peanut gallery, if you will. I'm going to dive right into this list. First honorable mention is Searching, starring John Cho. A very cool movie that basically looks like it's all from the desktop of a MacBook and computers and phones. It's been done before with movies like Unfriended, but Searching to create that in a drama it was done very well. Excuse me. It was a very good movie. Really liked it. It had some twists and turns that you didn't see coming, but just an enjoyable movie. The next thing is and the movies that I have physical copies of, I pulled off my shelf to show you guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I own 11 or 12 of the 21 movies listed. Some of them I will definitely be buying once they drop in price or once they come out. Um, you'll see what I mean when I get to those. But the first movie here that I physically have, another honorable mention, is Black Panther. This being the Blu-ray digital steelbook from Best Buy. Black Panther I enjoyed. However, all this love that it has gotten, this push for a Best Picture nomination, totally think it is undeserving. I have, just to give you guys an idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more comic book movies on this list. This is the bottom. This is the lowest out of all Marvel movies that was released this year, in my opinion. It was good, but it wasn't as amazing as a lot of people said. I think a lot of it has to do with Disney and political, stuff regarding the movie. That's my opinion on it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I own the movie. Gave it a 4 out of 5, which I don't hand out a ton of 4s or higher. I've seen over 100 movies this year. One movie got a 5. 8 movies got 4.5, and then the rest on this list got 4. So the next movie is Spike Lee's BlacKkKlansman. I really enjoyed this. I did not get a chance to see it in the movies, but I grabbed it when it came out and watched it. I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to revisit it. Adam Driver was excellent in it, and so was John David Washington, Denzel's son. He was great in this movie as well. Once again, a movie that I think had a little bit of false advertising. I thought that Topher Grace was going to be in it a lot more than he actually was. But BlacKkKlansman, definitely worth checking out. Definitely a good film. Once again, another one of my honorable mentions. The next one, which I also own a physical copy of, another superhero movie. This one being Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I actually just rewatched with RJ a couple weeks ago. Still holds up. I enjoy this movie more than the original, in my opinion. I really thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very funny. I liked the story it told. I think Paul Rudd is great as Ant-Man. He's very funny. And there was a little too much Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie with the subplot, but I get it, and it drove the movie to where it needed to go. It drove the quantum realm to the next level that we'll see in Avengers Endgame, I'm sure. So Ant-Man and the Wasp is my next honorable mention. My next movie I really wanted to put on my top 15 list. I really love this movie. This movie really was good. It was a movie that I was excited to see it, but didn't have like high hopes. I definitely thought, it'd be one of those movies that would be like a 3-star movie. I would probably watch it again down the line and be like, yeah, this was good. But boy, was I pleasantly surprised. Love Simon. This was an excellent movie. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. For a YA adaptation of a book, this movie did a great job. Nick Robinson, the lead role as Simon, did amazing. Timothy Olyphant and Jennifer Garner as his parents really nailed it. This movie was great. Definitely check out Love, Simon if you haven't done so already. Another one of my honorable mentions. My last honorable mention is The Favorite, starring Olivia Colman, Emma Stone, of course, I know, and totally blanking on the other actress, Rachel Weisz. I'm going to take a drink of water because my throat is scratchy. The Favorite was a really good movie. I really enjoyed The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which was the director's last film. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to butcher it. I enjoyed The Lobster too. It was a bizarre movie. This felt like the most normal out of the three, but still takes a twist of, the older, totally blanking, like the British biopics, the old school movies. Something I'm not really a fan of, and made it really enjoyable with a twist on it, some language that you would not expect, some other things that you wouldn't expect. But the movie gave a very unsettling feeling in parts, but it was just a really good, well done movie. I didn't love how it ended, which is probably why it didn't crack my top 15. But I really did like the movie. It's definitely worth checking out. I will definitely be grabbing it on Blu-ray or 4K once it drops. Now time for the top 15, guys. Number 15, 8th Grade, written and directed by Bo Burnham, starring Elsie Fisher. Wow. Nailing what it's like to be an 8th grader and the awkwardness of that age, and me being glad that I've survived being an 8th grader and not having to worry about that. Although some of the drama that she experiences as an 8th grade girl, I have to deal with as a 35-year-old man, thanks to YouTube and some of the drama that's on YouTube for no reason. And I made myself a year older than I am. I'm not 35 yet. I'll be 35 in October. But 8th Grade was a funny, just a heartwarming movie. It felt very real. And Bo Burnham, wow, he knocked it out of the park. And definitely check out 8th Grade. I do want to grab 8th Grade, but I'm waiting for it to drop in price a little bit. I don't want to spend $20 on it. When it drops to like that $10 price point, hopefully Black Friday this year, I will definitely grab it and add it to my collection. Another movie I'd love to add to my collection once it drops in price, White Boy Rick, number 14 on my list. A lot of people hated this movie or gave this movie hate. I thought it was an excellent movie. It's not just named after me, but it was just a fun's not the word. It was just a really good movie. The story, it's based on a true story. It is kind of crazy. It's based on a true story. Makes you wonder if it really happened the way it's portrayed in the movie, which I know is not always the case. But just a really good movie, well done movie. Matthew McConaughey was excellent in it. The kid who plays White Boy Rick, Richie, can't remember his last name. Usually I make notes, but I'm going off the top of my head with all this. He was really good, but just an enjoyable movie. Really something that should have gotten more love than it did, in my opinion. Number 13, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I will definitely be getting that on 4K once it releases. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was excellent. One of the coolest animated movies I've ever seen. Definitely, even though it is not the top animated movie on my list, definitely my favorite to win the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, just because of what it did and how different and new it is to animation, and just the story it told was awesome. Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't already when it releases to digital or 4K. I think on 4K the movie's going to be amazing. Number 12, Tully, starring Charlize Theron. Also, I can never remember her name. Mackenzie Davis, who plays Tully. The story of a mother trying to raise a kid and a baby. And basically, I can't really talk about this movie too much without giving it away. It shows that moms are all stars, and sometimes they can do stuff they don't realize they can do. But just a funny movie that takes some twists and turns I was not expecting, but just really good. Definitely check out Tully if you have not done so. I definitely, as a man, I really enjoyed this movie, but I really think mothers and women will appreciate this movie even more so than I did and do. Maybe that's just me speaking out of turn, but I really believe that Tully was an excellent movie. Number 11, let me make sure. I'm going to say this is my favorite horror movie of the year. It is not Hereditary. It is not Suspiria, if you saw my worst of the year list. It is not Halloween. It is A Quiet Place, starring Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. One of the craziest theater experiences in my life, actually sitting in a movie theater where people shut up for an hour and 45 minutes. It was not ruined by people talking. When the movie started, the theater was quiet. And I think that's what added to my enjoyment. As when I go to the movies, usually people can't stop talking. But it really added to this movie, having a quiet theater. Definitely looking forward to rewatching this one sooner than later. Just the sound design in this film was amazing. The story was really cool. If you guys saw Bird Box on Netflix, as opposed to them not being able to make a sound in this movie, Bird Box, they basically had to be blind or cover their faces. So, A Quiet Place, number 11 on my top films of the year. Number 10, some could argue this is a horror movie. I think it's more of a revenge thriller. And that is Revenge, starring Matilda Lutz? Matilda Lutz from Rings. Wow. You want to talk about going into a movie, having no expectations at all, hearing like this is a good movie, check it out, looking at it, going, I don't know, this really isn't my type of movie, and being blown away. Revenge nailed it. Such a good movie. Very gory, very violent, but just a great movie. If you haven't done so, check out Revenge. Definitely worth it. Not for everybody, I will say that. It gets a little bizarre and trippy in parts, but Revenge was a great movie. An hour and 48 minutes that flew by. Revenge, number 10 on my top movies of the year. Now, number 9, a movie that I guess will be controversial that it's on my list, but it is Ready Player One. Maybe it panders to my generation, my demographic, but the amount of pop culture references in this movie is insane. Just the design of the movie I thought was awesome. Can't wait till I get my 4K TV set up, because this will be one of the first ones I watch. I actually have yet to rewatch this because I'm waiting to watch it on 4K when I move. So this is the Target exclusive with the lenticular. I read the book after watching the movie. I was reading the book. I couldn't finish it. I saw the movie and I finished reading the book. I enjoyed both. I can see why some people were upset that it strayed away from the book. But if you had the things happen in the book that happen in the movie, it would make for a really boring movie. So without going into details, I thought Ready Player One was awesome. Very fun, very cool. If you're into pop culture, if you're into the 80s and 90s, the references were awesome. Just a fun time. Number 8, I'm going through stream movies I actually own. This being the 4K Steelbook. Deadpool 2. I will mention that Ready Player One was the first 4.5 on my list. This also was a 4.5. Deadpool 2, I really enjoyed. I've yet to see Once Upon a Deadpool. I do want to check it out at some point. But, I bought this. It features the regular cut, the super duper cut. I wasn't going to buy Once Upon a Deadpool. I don't need to own 3 different versions of the same movie. I'm happy with just the original version of the movie. I did watch the super duper cut and felt like it added some stuff, but did not feel necessary to do. So, Deadpool 2, I love The Merc with a Mouth, and this was my number 8 movie of the year. Number 7, documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor? This was given to me by Crazy Joe. Went and saw this in the movie theater. Absolutely loved it. Just a great documentary about the life of Fred Rogers and the kind of person he was and what he did for people, and, just how he made people feel and how he wanted people to treat each other. And it's definitely a movie I think we need now, now more than ever. I wish people would treat each other better. And, Mr. Rogers, that was his life goal, in my opinion, was to just make people happy and have people treat each other with respect. And it's tough because it doesn't happen very often anymore. So I'm not going to get too preachy. Number 6, a movie, another pleasant surprise. This I actually got from Netflix, the physical disc, and it was Blind Spotting, starring Daveed Diggs from Hamilton. Wow, what a powerful movie, but, like BlacKkKlansman, it was powerful, but it also had humor. I actually found Blind Spotting not only to be one of the most powerful movies I saw this year, just a great movie, but one of the funnier movies of the year, with just, the way it handled certain things. The rapping in the movie was phenomenal. The culmination of the movie with a rap in it, I'll leave it at that, shook me to my core. Just an awesome movie. Definitely need to get Blind Spotting on Blu-ray, add it to the collection, hopefully soon. Number 5, my favorite animated movie of the year, even though, like I said, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse I think deserves the award. That is Incredibles 2. I think there was a little too much Elastigirl in the movie, but the dad with the kids being like the single dad was really funny. Jack Jack versus the Raccoon is one of my favorite scenes of the year. Edna and Jack Jack, another classic. I loved this movie. It was really good, and I'm probably going to upset a lot of people by saying what I'm about to say. I enjoyed this more than the first Incredibles. The first Incredibles, I had a hard time sitting through the first couple times I watched it. This was, 2 hours or just near, 118 minutes, 2 hours. Saw in the movies, absolutely loved it. I was a huge fan, really liked it. Once again, another one I can't wait to check out on 4K once I get my TV set up in my new place, hopefully. Sooner than later, I will be watching a bunch of these 4Ks. I'm going to put that back where I got it from right now and mess up the flow of the video. Number 4, the last title that I own. So that means the top 3 movies of the year I do not own. You'll see why in a second. Number 4 is my favorite superhero movie of the year, Avengers Age of Ultron, this being the 4K Steelbook. Avengers Age of Ultron was awesome. A movie that's just as good on the rewatch. The mix of humor, drama, action, just everything I want a superhero movie to be. The cliffhanger kind of stinks because you literally had to wait or have to wait a year. This April/May, we will find out how it concludes, even though a lot of people have pretty good theories on it. We will see the conclusion in Endgame, but Avengers Infinity War was absolutely phenomenal. My favorite superhero movie of the year, hands down. 4.5 out of 5 stars, my number 4 movie. Number 3, I watched on Amazon Prime, and as of right now, it does not have a physical release or a physical release date, and that is Beautiful Boy, starring Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet. A powerful movie about addiction and just soul crushing, based on a true story, but so well acted. Steve Carell, you know, really good in this movie. I couldn't help it, but a few parts of the movie where he yells, all I can hear is Michael Scott yelling with a goofy voice. That kind of took me out of the drama in a few sections. But Timothy Chalamet, guys, he's the real deal. Between Lady Bird, Call Me By Your Name, Beautiful Boy, I've yet to check out Hot Summer Nights. Uh, I haven't seen Interstellar, but he's in that. Like, Timothy Chalamet is knocking it out of the park, either with choosing his roles or just with his acting. He is awesome. I really look forward. I don't even Little Women would not be my type of movie, but he's going to be in Little Women this coming Christmas with an excellent supporting cast of women that I don't recall off the top of my head. But Timothy Chalamet being in it is a selling point for me. It makes me want to check it out because he's so phenomenal in everything he's in. Number 2, not yet released to Blu-ray or 4K, but I will be picking it up when it comes out, is Green Book, starring Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali. Just a great movie, a funny movie. Once again, a movie with a message. Takes place in the 60s. It's about a black musician who's getting ready to go down south. And he hires basically a thug kind of gangster type to basically be his driver slash bodyguard, navigating through some parts of the South where he's probably not wanted. And the movie once again mixes some humor with, a buddy comedy mixed with drama, and just, in my opinion, a great movie. Mahershala Ali definitely deserves the best supporting actor, although my number one movie has somebody who's phenomenal in the supporting role, but they're just not in the movie enough, in my opinion, to compete with Mahershala. But Green Book, phenomenal. Check it out. Number 1, if this video was recorded a week later, I would hopefully have the 4K Steelbook to show you guys. And that is A Star is Born. Directed, written, starring Bradley Cooper, also starring Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott, who was phenomenal in the movie. He just wasn't in it enough, in my opinion, for a supporting actor. Although Mahershala Ali got the award when he was in Moonlight, and he was only in about 30 minutes of the movie. So maybe Sam Elliott sneaks up and grabs the best supporting actor. But A Star is Born, guys, it is great. It tackles addiction, mental health, being a rock star, so many things. Lady Gaga was great in the movie, but I really think that Bradley Cooper is not getting the attention and admiration that he should for this role. He was amazing as the lead actor in the film. Like, better than Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody, which you'll notice isn't on my top 21 list here. Better than Viggo Mortensen in Green Book. Bradley Cooper, in my opinion, hands down deserves the Best Actor nomination and win in the Oscars, and just deserves more more admiration than he's getting for his role. It's his first movie writing and directing. Got nominated for 8 Oscars, which is amazing. Don't know how many he'll win. I think it's only going to win 1 or 2. But Bradley Cooper was great in the movie. I definitely will be grabbing the 4K Steelbook, or at least the 4K, this week when it comes out. I do own the soundtrack. The soundtrack is great. I was trying to fight that cough to the end of the video. It didn't work. A Star is Born is the only 5-star movie I've given out this year. Like I said, there are some things I haven't seen that could easily be on this list. If you follow me on Letterboxd, which you can find in the description box down below, as I watch stuff from 2018, I will update my list, so it's possible that something could knock A Star is Born from the top. It's possible some other stuff could get, knocked around. But this is the list, guys. 2018 was an interesting year. I really thought there was a lot of mediocrity in the year. I saw over 100 movies released in 2018. 15 of which I gave 1.5, well, 16 of which I gave 1.5 stars or less, 21 of which I gave 4 stars or more. So that means there was, over probably like 75 movies so far that I gave between 2 and 3.5 stars for. So that is a ton of mediocrity in there. Lots of 2.5s and 3s. Just movies that I was like, okay, this was alright. Like, let's move on to the next one. 2019's kind of off to a slow start. I've only seen like a small handful of stuff. I saw Glass Escape Room. Just saw the Lego Movie 2, the second part with RJ. Once again, a bunch of, okay stuff. Nothing great. It's so early in the year. I'm sure by the end of the year there will be some real stinkers and there will be some amazing movies. So that's it, guys. Check out the description box down below where you can find links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as I mentioned, Letterboxd, cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com, where you can buy down to movie t-shirts like the one I have on, or hashtag Blu-ray snob shirts. And that's it, guys. So as always, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to comment down below. I try to respond to you guys. Once again, these were my opinion of my favorite movies of the year. Doesn't mean you necessarily agree. I'm sure some of you won't. But yeah, that's it. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Until next time, as always, guys, who's down to movie?